Hello, hello, hello. Okay, what have we got going on here? Welcome, welcome. It is Level Up Live time with me, Colin Clapp. Lockdown Level Up Live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, yeah, so what's going on? Look at this. Okay, so if you've been here a while, you will know this is all about leveling up in a light-hearted way. So if you have come here, I applaud you. I applaud you. I don't know who's in the house at the moment, but yeah, let me get into it. So if you, well, first of all, uh, if you are coming on the show, make sure to leave a comment. Let us know where in the world you are. We want to know where you are, what lockdown is doing in your part of the world, and it would be great to hear what you're up against, what you're working on. Feel free to come on, whether it's just a comment or whether you have something you want to come and share. Now, something I haven't got set up yet, but I am going to get set up is I'm going to get the Skype set up. So if you're coming on, I will deal with that. Now, so what we've got here, this Skype is yesterday, so I need to, let me just turn that off. Let me just turn that off. And welcome, welcome. So remember, if you are just new to the show, come on, let us know where in the world you are. Tell me in the comments. I've just realized what's going on here is that my own broadcast is being broadcast back to me with a delay. So I'm just going to hop in here and pause myself. Did that work? Yeah, I think that worked. Cool, cool. So, yeah, so who's here? Who's in the house? Say hi. Let us know where in the world you are. It would be awesome to find out what you're working on. That can be anything. Now, this is a kid-friendly show. If you are locked down at home with your kids and they are working on something, then why not bring them on? If you're learning a musical instrument, this is a great place. Come and show us what you're doing. Cool. Okay. So yeah, remember, say hi. Now, if you are new to the show, you can come on. It's really spontaneous. It's meant to be. You can contribute in a number of ways. You can contribute in the comments, or you can come on via Skype. Now, when I say via Skype, you can do it without a Skype account. So what I'm going to do, if you just give me a minute, we are going to get Skype fired up, and we are going to fire off a little function called Meet Now. And this is a great little tool. You don't need Skype. And what I need to do, I need to get hold of a URL. We're going to use this Meet Now. Didn't know this existed. Is that frozen? Are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming? Skype, are you coming to the party? And Skype just decided to pack up. Let's quit. Okay, let's come on. Come on, Skype. What you doing? Okay, we are going to boot you out. We are going to boot you out. Bye-bye, Skype. Okay, why don't I share the screen? You can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I am. No, you got something else locked in there. You have got. What have you got there? You have got. Now, what you should see is Skype. Skype come up. Let's get that Skype back in here and see if it wants to play. Skype, 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 are you coming to the party tonight? We want to bring on the guests. Are you coming to the party tonight? Skype. Okay, I am just dealing with that. Maybe you can tell us where in the world you are. I will see if I can get Skype going. Skype's not responding. That would explain a lot. Okay, we'll force you out. So yeah, guys, I'm coming to you from my MacBook Pro on a broadcast platform called Ecamm Live, and this is kind of my leveling up. So I'm going to come back and talk about that in just a second. But yeah, in the comments, where are you? What you doing? Da, 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 da. I think here comes Skype. Yeah, she's coming back. Once I got this sorted, we will be good to go. We're going to go fire off Meet now, which I think is a new thing in Skype. There we go. We get a URL, and I'm going to come back and join you. Apologies if you are just in there. Okay, this is. We'll get rid of you. Come back to me. Right, and we're just gonna go around and do that. Right, let's get this back. Where are my? We're all over the place tonight. What's going on? I just took away my comments, scenes. Okay, guys. So you want to know a few things, and we here we go, we're back. So you need the Skype address. So what I need to do is I need to edit that. And I'm going to come and tell you why this is all okay. Okay, let's turn it on. Tonight's Skype ID. There we go. Tonight's Skype ID. So tell us where in the world you are. Remember, where in the world you are, what's lockdown look like, what you're working on, would you like to come on the show? It'd be awesome to hear from you. Let's see who's in the house. We've got any comments? Oh, we've got Brent, we've got Lainey. Where are you coming from? Brent coming in from New Zealand. Okay, Brent, that would be me again, my friend. I probably was I was probably having the feedback, and we've got Lainey in the house. Awesome to hear from you. Lainey is watching from Mexico. Awesome. Okay, guys, tell me what you are working on, and then I'm going to get back to what this is all about. So, down in the bottom right-hand corner there, you have a Skype URL. You do not need Skype. You just type that URL. Actually, we discovered last night that if I put that in the comments, that should be clickable. And Lainey and Brent, if you could feel free to test that. I have no idea. This was something I was told that it was not possible to paste a URL into a YouTube live chat. Now I don't know whether it's the host can, put a live broadcast in, or whether anyone can put it in. So I'm really keen to find out whether anyone can click on that link and get to the Skype thing. Now, I don't know what's going to happen after that. I don't know whether I get a beep in my ear or whether you just go straight to Skype and suddenly you're on this thing. It's all an experiment. So why don't I wind the clock back a little bit? Remember, if you're just joining the show, tell us where in the world you are. We want to hear from you. What does lockdown look? You know, type it up, or feel free to record something and or just jump on the Skype and come and say hi. Brent is coming in from New Zealand. Good to have you, Brent. Now, Brent, you shared some stuff last week. Maybe you can give us a bit of an update on what you are working on and how's it going. I was very intrigued by you working on the Prince qualification. Maybe you can come and tell us about that, especially in New Zealand. I would have thought, I mean, that's a global qualification, so I'm really curious about what you're gonna do with that. So, now, Lainey, you are always working on stuff, so you are so welcome to come on and tell us what you and Miro are up to. Obviously, the world events would be getting in your way, so yeah, come on and introduce yourself and let us know how it's affecting things. It would be awesome to hear. So, for those of you just joining, I'm going to sort of backtrack a little bit. There's a few experiments going on here. I'm just going to give you a little sneak preview. Just watch this. Whoa, we got the two cameras. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to come back to that. So yeah, I've been threatening to get this second camera up for a while. Now, over here, what's going on over here? Tell me what you think of this. Woo, what's going on there, Cole? So yeah, this is all part of the experiment. I'm coming at you from rural France in a house there. I don't have any professional equipment. You're probably going, what the heck's he doing with these earphones on and these earbuds? And this is all a part of my tonight's experiment. So if you're in the house, I would love to get some feedback. So first of all, This is just a bedroom lamp. I'm not even sure it's long enough. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? It's like a nice, cool little shade. So if that's off, this is what I look like. I just got the kind of kitchen lights here in the barn. I say barn, it's a converting barn in rural France. So I put this on. Does that make a difference? There's nothing professional about this. I'm coming from my MacBook Pro. The camera you are seeing me through is the built-in camera. But you know, I know when you're doing video, sound is probably more important than video, and then lighting is a part of the visual effect. So I just realized that, you know, just grab what you can and see if you can light yourself up. So what I discovered tonight is if I put this down like this, I get better lit. But of course, then what, I kind of get the reflection in my glasses, and that's not going to work, is it? But I'd love some feedback. You know, does that work? Does that make things better? Would you prefer that? And I have no idea how I could prop that light up to. I've got the light on an angle to make that work. So I will invest. And get some more equipment when Amazon's supply chain gets back on the road. See, I'm just propping the lamp up here on the shade. Okay, so we got the light. I don't know. You tell me. Does it work? Does it work? Does it make it better? Does it make it worse? Does it shadow? I don't know. I'm not a professional. And I got my a little sneak preview again. So I've been threatening to get my Canon camera up. So obviously, when I look at this, I can't see the screen over here. So part of my own leveling up is to sort of work out what I can do. This is a much better, in theory, this is a much better quality camera, but I've no idea whether I should be this close to it, whether I should be back. I don't know how to focus it, any of that sort of stuff, but it might allow me to do some more stuff. So for example, I could, so I've got it on a try. I don't know if I can show you. Actually, there's a couple of things I'm going to come back to that. Let's go back. And if you guys come on Skype, there's something quite neat I'd like. Look at that. So welcome to the kitchen in our barn. This is the bit that I've got to practice on. You know, can I talk to this camera and be totally focused on this camera, knowing that over here is kind of what you're seeing, and this is something I've got to work on. So yeah, the temptation to sort of look away, look at the screen, which is where I can see the comments and everything, and then back here where I can't see what's going on. That's a bit nerve-wracking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the computer. I'm gonna swap that out and take that one down, and yeah, there I am. I'm back. So Level Up Live. How did this come about? What's in it for you? And we'll go from there. So I was listening to a podcast a few weeks ago from a friend of mine, Martin Abonge, good man, and he used a word that wasn't necessarily the right fit, and he apologized for it, but he talked about being impoverished, but he wasn't talking about financial in any shape or form. What he was talking about, wait a sec, guys, I'm just going to hold because I just got a little beep in my ear, and that tells me that someone is in Skype, and I don't know who it is. Who is in Skype? Because this is where the screen does not work too good. Now, can I move there? One participant in the queue. I don't know if that is Laney or if that is Bran. How do I make this work? I need to there's got to be a way to do this differently. Okay, all right, so what we got here is we have got Laney on the call, but even I'm not on the call, so that would explain quite a lot. So why don't I Lainey, are you still there? Are you still there? How is this going to work? Lainey, are you there? Are you there? Now, I wish I could find a way to shrink this screen. That's what I need to do. You're the only person on the call. Okay, Lainey, come back and try again. Come back and try again, and let's see if that works. I think that's what the problem was. So I had the call up, but I was not in the one of two in the call. You're the only person in the call. One of two in the call. Hey, Lainey. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know what I'm doing. Right, okay. We need to get back. We need to beam Lainey in here. Watch this, guys. Watch this. Watch this. Split screen 2. We are going to ditch this fella. We don't need him. What we need is this lovely lady. Look at this. She is. Can you hear me?
I could hear you. Yeah. Hi.
Now, let's see, guys, this is what it's all about. This is on the fly. I haven't even been able to introduce this. So we have my friend Lainey Liberty. Lainey, can you see this? I'm not even sure if you can see this because you've got a delay going on.
Yeah. So what I did is I turned the volume off of the YouTube, and now I'm just interacting with you on Skype.
Yeah. Now you tell me whether I've got this. I'm doing this URL off on the fly. So you let me know if this is Project World. Is it Project World Schooling or Project World School?
You mean my business?
Yeah.
Project World School. I got a bunch of them. I got a bunch of websites.
What the main one is? It the Project World School? Is it worldschool.com?
Yes, projectworldschool.com.
Okay, I'm just going to put that on, and we're going to see if that works. Look at that. Look at that. Here we go. Look at that. This is. I don't know if you can see this, Lainey. You probably can't see it right now because of the delay. But in a minute or two, what you should see is the split screen come up and your name and the website underneath. And I know this. I know this sounds.
No, I just see you. I see two of yous.
So you're not on the screen at the moment?
Nope, I see two of you, and it says Colin Clapp, and I can't see what the text is.
Oh, okay. Wait a sec. Justin, thanks for dropping in, my friend. I'm totally honoured to have Justin on the show, giving me a thumbs up. That's amazing. Really appreciate that. I owe a lot to Justin, but I'll talk about him another time. So, Lainey, I'm not too sure. You should be able to see yourself when the stream catches up. I think what you might have been seeing is me playing with two cameras. So yeah, here you are in Mexico. Why don't you introduce yourself, because you're an amazing lady. I cannot do justice to your backstory. So tell everyone who you are, what you do, and what you're working on right now, because I know you are working on a lot right now to help. You are working You are working on a lot to help a lot of people, and it's going unnoticed by the rest of the world.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, so I guess right now, well, my background in brief is I'm a world schooler. My son and I started traveling 11 years ago, maybe going on 12 soon. And so I raised him on the road. And so over that time, I've become an advocate for alternative learning and also building community around this amazing movement. So that's a real Reader's Digest version. But yeah, so that's what I do. I've been really focusing on creating value in our group on our Facebook group for world schoolers. Right now, nobody's traveling. We're all locked down around the world. And so I'm doing a lot of different things to keep the community connected, to create not social distancing, but social connection. and really to create value in our group and to create like a sanctuary where those that cannot travel, which is all of us, can come and still get that feeling that we get each other, we understand what the stresses are, and we're in this together. Yeah.
And Lainey, I've noticed that you've embraced quite a bit of video recently. Would that be fair to say? You've been making more use of things like Zoom and Skype. I don't really know, but and I know you've encouraged. I don't know if this has happened informally or formally, but it looks like you've encouraged others to do the same. I'm thinking of people like Janelle hosting a couple of chats, and I know Trey's been trying to do something with a small business mastermind, and he had his best turnout. Today, which was, made my day when he told me that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I was there. I am gleaming from his guidance. I'm loving learning and being in an accountability group as always as I'm trying to launch new things. Yeah. And also my invitation goes out to you too. If you want to come back in and do stuff, you can, as long as it's providing value for our community. And I know it is. So yeah.
Yeah, well, that's. I think I'm just trying to work. I'm just trying to find a sort of new way of doing that without treading on anyone else's toes. But but I don't know if we can use this format in some shape or form, and that was something Trey and I talked about. And maybe there's a way to. There's obviously the different time zones, so one time zone doesn't work for everyone. So maybe there's like a tag team idea that could, Trey could be in one time zone, I could be in another. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions and ideas. I mean, like you say, everything is kind of new, and yeah. So what are you what are you being stretched on right now? That's what I'm curious, because you've really got to rethink your whole business model. I would imagine in some.
Yes. And actually, Trey has helped me do that as well. So we're working on a new project, but it'll be revealed in about a month. And actually, we have two new projects, and Miro and I are working on them together. So stay tuned for that. I mean, it's obviously to serve our community, but really creating tremendous value. So I'm super excited about it. And of course, it's a lot of work, as all of the projects that I work on are a lot of work. Yeah.
And you're thriving though, or I mean, you look well, and from what I can see.
Well, sure. I mean, I'm staying busy. Everybody's got stresses. One of my biggest stress right now is I don't have internet in my.
We might have just lost you. That might explain Lainey's last comment. She doesn't have internet.
Sorry?
Just as you said you don't have internet, you cut out.
Of course. Yeah, it's not the best internet here. And so that's a huge frustration. And I can't go anywhere for internet. And I can't use the internet from my little apartment because it's too far away. And so in order to work, I have to be up here. And I'm wearing a sweater right now, but it is hot.
Oh.
And so the reason why I'm wearing a sweater is because there's mosquitoes. So I have to cover up. So, there's not a whole lot that I should really be ungrateful for. I'm here. I'm safe. I'm in beautiful weather. I've got a beautiful place to be in. So I guess I just need to, breathe into the idea that there's mosquitoes and they're annoying. But besides that, I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. And how long are you guys? Is Miro with you, or is he locked down somewhere else?
Yeah.
He's
here.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I think I asked this in the group, but I'm not 100% sure I can recall your answer. But how long have you got in Mexico? Are you up against any restrictions, or is it being quite relaxed about how they're treating non-nationals?
Well, our visa is good until June, so we're okay from a legal perspective. We got 6 months when we came in, so I arrived in January. Miro came in March, so he's got a longer amount of time.
Okay.
But so from the legal perspective, we're okay, but we can't go anywhere. We have no desire to go back to the United States because we have no home there. So,
Yeah.
it's easier for us to stay put, just like you guys, right? You guys don't have a place to go back to.
Correct.
So, we have plans to be in Peru in July, and I'm just crossing my fingers that that will be permissible. And yeah, but in the meantime, this is a beautiful place to be, and I'm just hoping that pretty soon we'll be able to go to the beach again because we're 1 block from the beach.
Oh, and you're not allowed to at the moment?
No, beach
Okay.
is closed. And they just passed an ordinance that we have to wear masks. So it's starting to catch up
Okay.
with the rest of the world here. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because Trey had given the impression that it was a little bit more lax in certainly where he is. Um, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we're in a different place, we're in a different state. So each state has their own, laws coming into effect. But I also think that where he is in Oaxaca, they're starting to catch up also with the rest of the country. Now, where you've got a place where the majority of the population is indigenous, they live by their own laws, and rightfully so. So they will adapt as they see fit. And Trey and all of us that are expats or immigrants or foreigners in a foreign country, it's up to us to be respectful and follow those laws.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to pop in and say you're doing a great job. I love that you're doing this, and you're also supporting a lot of people.
I appreciate that. That's very kind words. So, all right. Well, I will love you and leave you. If you have any special links or anything you want the audience to know about, just fire me a PM and I will put them into the description after the live finishes. It might be tomorrow, but I'll make sure that the link is in the description. So yeah, so give my regards to Miro. You keep up the amazing work you're doing. It's going to be interesting watching how things shape up, but we might be down, but we're not out.
Yeah, exactly. And also, Miro sends his regards. He still sees you as his wonderful mentor. So thank you for all that you do.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You guys take care.
All right, bye.
Bye. Wow. So there we have. That was my friend Lainey, and coming in from Mexico. So Lainey is behind the movement of We Are World Schoolers, and we met her in person at a conference that she was hosting. I'll put some more about that in the descriptions. But yeah, for those of you who don't know us, we are a world schooling family. If you do want to find out a bit more about us, you can go to let me bring up some of the stuff. What have we got here? We've got our show overlays window. Yeah, okay. So yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about me and my family, you head on over to here. I am the dad, chief techie of the family. I have a lovely partner, Ellie, who's in bed right now, trying to keep our eldest daughter, who's only 6, asleep. And we have a 15-month-old baby. So you can find out a little bit more about us over there. I also have a small online marketing business. You can find out about that over here. And we do content optimization, search engine optimization, those sorts of things, keyword research. And yeah, you check out the websites. And if you have any questions, ping me. Ellie is a holistic health coach, and if you want to find out about her, you can head on over here. In fact, she's got a new website that just went live today, so go take a look. Now, talking of Ellie, We have Brent in the house, and I'm seriously wondering if we can get Brent on the show because Ellie is the author of a book, The Holistic Guide to Burning Fat for Good, which he published probably about 5 years ago. It's available on Amazon, 5-star reviews on Amazon. Check it out. I don't have a link to that, so I must make a note, get a link to Ellie's book. But Brent was the illustrator for that book, so it would be awesome if we could get that young man on the show. He's hanging out in the early hours of New Zealand. So Brent's got some questions. I don't know if Laney's still on the show, but love to hear how the community will fund their situation. What will happen with income generation post lockdown? Now, that's a great question, Brent, and who knows? I don't think that question personally is exclusive to the world schoolers. There is a lot of people wondering how they're going to fund everything. And as for this one, how is travel insurance affected? I would not have a clue. But I'm curious. Back home there in Christchurch, what is the plan there? What is the income generation post lockdown there? And New Zealand jumped on things, and so it's different. But there's going to be a lot of people out of work, and I know the government in a few countries, such as New Zealand and the UK, is funding 80% of income. But that can't be a bottomless pit. The economy's got to bounce back through entrepreneurship and taking opportunity. Anyway, so Brent, if you got, I love to, use the link. I will. You wanted to know what. So there's my Skype ID. Let's just take that one out, and didn't want that. You wanted that. That's what you wanted, Brent. Yeah, you wanted that, and let's just move that over there. So Brent, you can hook up with me on Skype. I think we might already be connected, but if not, just try that link and that should beam. So I'll just leave that up, and I don't know what happens. So we got that and we got that. Okay, maybe I'll just toggle with that. Okay. Alrighty. So I think I should just, if you're new to the show, I think it's important. I don't want to go down a COVID-19 rabbit hole, but why does this show exist? And it started with a few things that sort of came together, and it wasn't just one thing. It was a few things that came together over a period of a few weeks, and the first one that triggered something in my mind, but it wasn't specifically about launching this show, was listening to a podcast from a friend, Martin, and he talked about how this is the time for many of us to make sure that the time does not pass without us growing in some shape or form. And what he was saying was that so many of us can use the excuse of time. We haven't got time to take this course, or we haven't got time to work on this, or et cetera, et cetera. And whilst there are many people who have less time, those workers on the front line, we probably stressed beyond belief and vulnerable. Many of us have got extra time on our hand, even if we are spending extra time with the kids. Now that's kind of new. That's not new to people like us with our children 24/7. But notwithstanding, it might be a little bit of shock to the system to have your kids with you all the time. There's probably extra hours in the day. You're not commuting. Excuse me, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Remember, if you are new to the show, let us know where in the world you are. Tell us in the comments what is what is going on in your part of the world. Okay, alrighty. So yeah, now is this period where you have this extra time to level up in some shape or form, and that could just be learning a new musical instrument. That could be taking care of some chores that you've been putting off for a long while. That could be just reading some books, working on some personal development, anything like that. Listening to podcasts, listening to videos that upskill you. I mean, what you saw with the I'm just going to bring this back, but you know, this thing here, that I did not know how to do that a week ago, and I can. What happened then? I want to take that one out and put that one in, and where's that? There we go. Look at that. You know, that took a little bit of fiddling around to work out how to do it. Let's just take we'll take Laney off the screen now, and but a week ago, I did not know how to do this. I did not know how to connect a second camera. I don't think the light's great with, you know, where I am. So I don't think either camera's working fantastic. I did not know how to put two cameras on. I did not know how to put this effect. So this is an effect I've just sort of rustled up. So if you watch what happens now, I've just took off the split screen that provided the banners that I could put the thing on, and if I take this one away, there's nothing. And someone just taught me that, you know, there's a little trick that you can create a PNG, transparent PNG, and it just adds a little bit of extra pop to the screen. So I can take that out and bring that one on, and you know, it just kind of makes the visuals stand out a little bit more. But a week ago, I did not know how to do this. So this was really me stepping up, because I said, right, I'm going to do some live video, and I'm going to master, or I'm going to improve my knowledge of Ecamm Live software. And this is the software that I am using. So, and that's when, you know, we had the call in earlier on from Justin from Primal Video. And so Primal Video is a membership platform. They run the membership is called Primal Video Accelerator, of which I'm a member, and I've just learned so much from Justin and his team about putting video together, and I knew about a few things, and I'd heard about a few things, but since I've been a member of Primal Video, I've just been able to learn so much more. It was sort of any questions I've got now, I can go to the Primal Video community, Justin and the community, and I can ask questions, and you know, that's how I've ended up with the camera. That's why I'm pausing on the microphones, because I'm talking to the guys, getting some recommendations about what I can use, and it's people like Justin that have given me feedback on certain equipment. So I'm assuming you can hear this okay, even if the video itself is a little bit grainy. But yeah, I'm going to be, you know, everything's going to move. You know, maybe I'll be able to do videos during the day and the light will get better. So anyway, I'll go back. Let me come back to Level Up Live. So there we are. We've got this challenge of using this time to make sure that we do not, you know, just waste it with binging on Netflix and gaming our way to oblivion. This is a time that you can work on yourself and can't use the excuse of time. So I heard that, didn't think anything of it specifically, but it kind of just sort of struck with me. And then about a week later, I was introduced to Trey, who I was actually introduced to Trey by Laney, and she connected us, and then we connected, and we jumped on a Zoom call. He's in Mexico, so there's probably about a 6-hour time difference, and he's trying to breathe life into a small business accountability group inside the World Schoolers community. And the time zones weren't matching up for me, so I decided to I let him know that I was interested and wanted to did I miss call from Laney? And sorry guys, I'm just seeing if I missed something going on in Skype. Copy link. I am just going to throw that Skype link back out there, and let's bring up those overlays. And tonight's Skype, so I'm gonna chuck that into there. And oh no, it's still the same one. And Brand, I'm going to just take off my one and show overlays window. We are going to take that Skype one off and put that one on there. So yeah, guys, if you're just coming on, remember, let us know where in the world you are. What does lockdown look like for you? What are you working on? Come and have some fun. Let us know what's going on. We'd love to hear your news. And you know, when you get here, we'll give you a little blast of being in the house, and a big round of applause. Okay, so give a big round of applause for Laney. So thank you, Laney. And Laney said thank you. And I should what we got here. Let's just bring that back. Thank you, Laney. Thank you. So. So I was talking to Trey, and Trey was breathing life into this small business group around and getting some accountability going in the World Schoolers community. I let him know that in the past that I had actually run small business accountability groups professionally, done that for a number of years with paying guests, and it was quite intimate, and had to sort of reinvent the group a few times during that to keep things fresh and keep people on their toes. I don't do it anymore, but definitely had a number of years where I was holding a number of people accountable, and had lots of sort of success in seeing them level up back in those days when I was a small business coach mentor back in Christchurch, New Zealand. As I say, not been doing it, but as I was talking to Trey, I was like, well, maybe this is time for me to sort of reconsider my own accountability. Ellie and I have been upskilling massively since we started this new lifestyle 3 years ago. And so what happened with Trey and I is that we agreed to just sort of sleep on it and then see how it went, and we would come back and help each other out. So that's what I did. I slept on it. And then, of course, the pandemic started to unravel in a lot more detail. We found ourselves locked down in rural France, coming at you from a place probably, well, it took us 90 minutes on a fast train from Paris, and then probably another 45 minutes to an hour to get to this rural village. We're actually in a hamlet of 5 houses. So a hamlet's not even a village. There's nothing in the hamlet other than the houses. We are surrounded by countryside, apart from the wind farms. We've got some beautiful modern windmills right behind us. Amazing how quiet they are. And they're not exactly in our eye line either. So, but when we go for a walk, we can walk right up to them. It's quite amazing to realize how silent they are. And it's only when you're right under one you can kind of hear a sort of a whir, but nothing that's troubles on the ears. And yeah, surrounded by countryside, we found there's wild deer in a woods next to us. So from a lockdown perspective, we feel quite blessed that we have fresh air and we have space. We're about 4K from the nearest village, and in the nearest village there is a bakery, a library, a hairdresser's, and that might be it. That might be it. We're about 17K from the nearest town, and that's where we go to get which would still be called a village, but just a bigger village. But that's where the supermarkets are and where we can stock up on supplies. And we haven't found any shortage of anything at the moment. So in terms of lockdown, we've probably got a bigger house than we've ever had as a family. Ellie's got a kitchen that she sort of dreams of, that she can bake and do things and sort of do things with Ayla, who is thriving on all sorts of things. We found an encyclopedia. That's another thing. We just got lucky. The house is owned by a retired English couple who are living in France, but are currently in Australia looking after a sick relative. And we've formed a very nice relationship with those guys, and they've encouraged us to make ourselves at home. We've got 2 acres of garden to look after. It's a bit wild, and I've accidentally broken the ride-on mower, and we're waiting for a part to come through. So the grass is getting a bit long, but they've encouraged us to sort of settle in, and we've improvised and made some climbing frames and a bit of a outdoor play area for the girls, and the weather's been pretty good, so we're feeling very, very blessed. And who knows what is around the corner when our visa is officially up. But it made me read. So I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but we got this period in our times where there's a lack of connection, and people are, there's a lot of social isolation, and Lainey alluded to it. Social distancing is not a great terminology. It's physical distances, and there's no reason for social distancing. There's still plenty of opportunity for social connection, and if we can only do it through video or online platforms, then let's do it. And that sort of struck in my mind that we love our own company, and we're quite introverted in that way. We're very happy in our own company. We can spend a long time on our own, but we're human beings, we're social creatures, and I knew I had to do something about that. So then of course I saw some of my own online mentors who were sort of creating an environment, a sort of ask me anything environment, and I saw what they were doing, and a lot of them were using what I'm using right now. They were using Ecamm Live. Okay, Brent, I'm just gonna pause and see if I can get you connected, my friend. So you can't click on that link. That link is not working for you. If you click on it, let's see if we can. Let's see if we can find. Brent, you gave me your. Brent Ruru should be up. Brent Claire Ruru. Brent Claire Ruru. Say hi. Did that work? I have said hi, and waiting for Brent to accept invitation. So we got a bit of a delay going on here, so I'll keep talking, and hopefully I have connected with Brent. Brent, so there's a delay, but I'm pretty sure I've just connected with you. So if you go for it, we should be able to go for it. Yeah, it's definitely you. So looks like if you just call me, my friend, if you just call me, it will all be good to go. It'll all be automatic. So I saw some of my own mentors creating this Ask Me Anything environment, and I thought that is perfect. There's Martin challenging us to learn something new. There is this need for some accountability. There is a connection thing going on, and I can be available, and I can be of value. I forgot to say, we can do some website reviews. If you're interested, we will get the clock going, and we can do a website review. So let me know, and I can. We can fire up a website review, and give me your URL, and I'll be happy to start. This is our online marketing done for you, but we can do that for you. So Okay, let's go back and see if we can talk to our man Brent. And remember, if you're just tuning in, let us know where in the world you are. Tell us in the comments. I am about to see if we can hop on a call with Brent. I'm pretty excited. Let's see if we can go back to Level Up Live. I'm just going to see if we can bring Brent in. Yay, I think we have the connection. Cool. So Brent, just call. Just ring and we will, and it'll all be automatic. So yeah, so that's what's behind Level Up Live. And so my goal was to get stuck into this software, and can I use Ecamm Live? It's a subscription-based service. I wasn't using it. I knew I could do lots with it. Like I say, I mean, we had Laney on. Big round of applause for Laney. We got sound effects, and I thought, well, I can do this. I can do things like So something I want. I mean, we're not too far from wrapping up tonight's show, but what are you reading? That was just something, a little thing. I've only got 6 sound effects. I'll just quickly play them to you. I got the DJ, and we got the Glockenspiel, the party noise maker. Maybe when Brent connects, we will. Yeah, we are connected on Skype, and I'm just kind of waiting for him to ring, really, and that should automatically bring it in. So these are things that we can do. This where in the world are you? I had to create that. That's called an overlay, and I can sort of just with a click, I can make that run, and then I can just go back to my main window. But I can share my screen. I can do that like that, or I can. So there we go. Waiting for Brent to come in. I go back to the main camera, and if I wanted, I could bring the Skype thing up right now, but I'm going to turn that off. Or I could choose to bring this camera in and turn this one off, all on the main screen. But on this main screen, this is the one I think I should use, so just lose that. But I can just drop to a completely different scene, and this is where I set this scene up to automatically be set up like this. Now, if what I'll do is I'll turn this one off, and let's see if I can. That's what I want to do. And over here, I am going to put Brent and clear. And if we can get our friend Brent on, we're going to bring him over there. So this second window is all set up ready for that Skype call. So as soon as that Skype call comes through, Brent will just appear there, and I could very quickly just bring in. I could just then bring up this, and where did that go? Showing current scene. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Watch this. So I just learned something interesting. So I'm just going to do that, and yeah. So yeah, I'm just kind of learning where I had that position meant it was behind the artwork that was created to allow this white thing at the bottom. So because this is just artwork that I've created, so I can just turn that off, and I'm back to nothing, and I bring that up, and it just kind of pops out a little bit more. And yeah, I've got this other one. I don't think that really pops out as much, so I've gone for this one, and and I could take the dark one off and come back to the light. So just total experimentation. So that is 24. That is 24. So yeah, let's just save that. And let's. Well, hey, here comes the man. Here comes the man. Hear you loud and clear. And if you have got the video on YouTube still playing, just mute it. Just, you don't have to stop the video, but just mute it, because you'll.
Okay, hold on. Muted.
Yeah, that way you won't get it playing back to you. So any sounds you're hearing now is just me and you over Skype. So how are you, my friend?
Yeah, we're good. You know, we're really good. We're day 28 of our 28-day lockdown, and here in New Zealand. And the announcement was made a couple of days ago that we'll be in the lockdown until next Tuesday, just so that we can get over Anzac weekend. And then what will happen is that New Zealand will move from a level 4 to a level 3, which means that some industry is able to return back to work, the likes of construction, the likes of those people that are able to do online business transactions without the face-to-face. Places like cafes and bars and restaurants will still be closed. They are looking to reintroduce the schools to be opened, and it's more to cater for parents that have to go back to work. But if you can keep your children at home for another period, or while we're in level 3, that's what they're aiming to do. And then our government will review the level 3 lockdown around the 2 weeks after that to determine if we move from level 3 to level 2. And this is purely because New Zealand has been quite collectively stringent on trying to eliminate the coronavirus out of our shores.
Yeah.
And we had about 12 deaths, which has been quite sad. But our daily take of new cases is down to single digits. So if we can maintain that and do some very good contact tracing and then put people in isolation, then I think we're really looking to certainly a different landscape, but one where coming out is always tougher than going into. Heaps of people have lost their jobs, small businesses types. You may find that small businesses will go under, some of them. But our government was in a good fiscal position to be able to position ourselves to soften the blow. So yeah.
And what about yourself? How are you using this time? You said in some correspondence last week that you were studying and putting that time to good use. And I know you're someone who's always got ideas and yeah, I mean, your list of things you were working on just blew my mind.
Yeah, so pre-COVID, I'm a celebrant, which means that I officiate weddings and funerals. Haven't been able to do that under level 4. So that's given me an opportunity to clean up the backyard, the systems. It's given me an opportunity to investigate what else I could be doing in that space. So a good example is becoming a celebrant mentor for new celebrants that come online or come into the industry. So there's potential there. The other thing is, with not being able to officiate funerals, a lot of our folk outside of COVID who have passed, they've either had to have direct cremations without family attendance or direct burials. So only the funeral directors do that. So the move has been will go towards more direct cremations post-COVID because of cost. It's a lot cheaper to do that, and then have a memorial service down the track where you can celebrate the person's life versus have a traditional funeral at the time of the passing. Globally, it was moving that way.
Yeah,
New Zealand was just behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
COVID-19 has just that process up. So it's just meant how, as a celebrant, do I develop another tier to the bow of providing memorial services directly with families versus going through a funeral director. So I've backyard stuff being tidied up. I'd started the project management qualification about 8 months ago. It goes for a year. So this has just been an opportune time to bring that qualification home. And that's just to add another string to the bow of historical stuff that I've done in the past. As we know, we're a world that seems to magnify qualification as being what we need to have. So all I've done is wrap some qual around some project management stuff that I've done in the past. Where that takes me, I don't know, but it's just some more letters after my name.
Because that is a global, Prince is a globally recognised qualification, and but I never heard it talked about in New Zealand when I was there. I'm curious how many businesses in New Zealand would use it and recognise it.
Sure. I think that because it's a global qualification, in the quality industry, there's always that attraction to have or be up to date with best practices of the day, and having a network of people around the planet and having worked with some people in Dubai, their recommendation was to get this one because it is globally recognised.
Yeah.
And I think that New Zealand has become quite systemised when it comes to health and safety after past events of recent years, that our tendency to work safe is quite stringent. So where project management can come in is I have an audit background as well. So there's a front end and a back end, or a back end and a front end. And it's just to round out. Look, I don't have a degree or anything like that. I have a diploma in celebrant services, and being in my early 50s, I know what it's like if I want to go and look for a job where it doesn't matter whether I've got a raft of experience or life skills. Recruiters will always look for the pieces of paper at the start. So this was just about connecting that dot. But also I think it's important to have relationships so that it's not what you know, sometimes it's who you know. And this qualification just gives me that credibility if someone else, a third party, is looking at, well, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm easily able to attach the qualification to some previous work experience or business ownership and things like that. Yeah. And theory stuff.
I can't help but ask how it I know you have aspirations to be location independent with your good lady wife. Did that factor in at all? Was that or not an issue?
Yep. Look, my wife Claire is a contract bookkeeper. I'm a certified bookkeeper too. What that's allowed us to do is, over the last 3 to 4 years, we take mini retirements, which is we go on stints of travel for periods of time, just not your 2 weeks annual leave. We have tested Claire taking her work with her, because our attitude is that sometimes you can have work and you can have play. And what I mean by work, we're talking about something that she's passionate about along the way. And she's very good at it. So we cycled across Canada a couple of years ago and took a customer with us to see if we can test the remoteness of doing bookkeeping while on the road. And then in between then and now, we've had a 5-week in Peru where Claire was able to take all of her customers and still administer the tasks that she was needed to do as a bookkeeper. Now you might get a bit, we might get a bit hesitant about. Most people will get hesitant about wanting to. You have to be here to do that, but we don't. We've proven that you can be remote. Or the flip side is you might have some people say, well, why would you take your work with you when you go on holiday? The reality is, if you really enjoy what you're doing, regardless the vocation, her office was on a balcony overlooking Cusco. beating a bedroom in a house.
Yeah.
Same work, just different location.
Absolutely, yeah. And when you're having breaks that are, and breaks is not necessarily the right word, but when you're having breaks that are more than the traditional 2-week holiday, you have to have a different mindset, and if that means juggling what is called work, and creating an environment where you can deliver it. I mean, they're just, who cares if they're merged? If you can pay the bills and provide for yourself and have fun along the way, and then just keep doing it indefinitely, and that floats your boat, because it does not float everyone's boat. But if it does float your boat, why wouldn't you do it? But yeah, hats off to you guys, because I've as you know, we go back a wee while, and I know that you always working on, how can we make this, how can we stretch this out? And you have been very good at it, and you're also very good at keeping a level head. So I was really intrigued by seeing what you were working on, because I know you're always thinking about how to move up and move outside of the normal paradigm. So awesome to hear you're still doing that, my friend.
Look, don't get me wrong, we were the traditional rat race people, and I don't believe that anybody that takes 2-week vacation, if they're working full time, winds down the day that they leave to go on holiday to then pick it up when they leave.
Yeah.
Take 2 days to wind down, and then you. But I think the flip side too, Colin, is we're minimalists. We came back with a different attitude on having a smaller footprint, smaller possessions, and it meant that our cost of living went down. As you know, what we came back. We lived in a caravan for 3 years after living in Dubai, and that set the foundation for us to just re-establish some foundational income. And we get inspired by what you guys are doing, and so we should be. And we will end up becoming probably more grain nomadic within a short period of time. COVID-19 hasn't detracted from that. It's just inspired us more to go, right, there's a lot of people that are struggling, so how can we coach them? So life coaching around frugality and changing their paradigm about, well, what's more important to be doing before you croak it versus is there some materialistic or consumerism. So life coaching is something that I've sort of fallen into.
You do that.
Again, we don't have.
You do that very well. You just do that well naturally. Some people have just got that empathetic streak, and you couldn't do some of the things you do, like around the celebrancy and the coaching and that sort of thing, and the mentoring you do with the children. You can't do that without some natural coaching. Well, some developed, some nurtured coaching skills, and I know you've worked on that. I know that doesn't come naturally to everyone. It didn't come naturally to me, but you work on it, and you just get involved, and you realise just listening and being around is sometimes all that's needed. So
it's incremental coalface development. You read 10 books, 22 cassette tapes, and I think the other thing too is that we have to be genuine to ourselves and not be a copycat of somebody else. And the beauty about how we've actually gone out and done some radical adventure travel just because it's what we wanted to do. It doesn't suit everybody. I think that's just given us a little bit of comprehension about what matters most to us, and being a celebrant and having officiated nearly 100 funerals, I've got to capture, weave, and share somebody's life story, and I think that's hit home the fact that what you guys are doing to me is priceless. There is no dollar figure on what you guys are doing, and the kids are global citizens, not just a one country citizen. I think holistically you see things a little bit more. You don't sweat the small stuff in the sense of what minuscule here that's sensationalized by the news. You can filter that or float over that. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Always jealous, mate, what you guys are doing.
Yeah, yeah. I used the term.
Not the lawnmower part though. I don't think. Oh yeah.
Oh no! Well, when I broke it, I was like, "Oh no, what have I done?" But yeah. Anyway,
It's a
but
learning opportunity. It's a learning opportunity. It's a learning
yeah, yeah,
opportunity.
yeah. It's
Oh,
yeah, it's
good.
keeping me on my toes, that's for sure. But I'm going to let you go. It's we've gone well over
Sure.
time tonight, but I was really glad to have you on board. Now you did have a trip to Europe coming up later this year. Now I guess
Yeah.
is that definitely off or postponed or what's the?
No, yeah, look, yeah, so we were landing in Paris on the 29th of July with our touring bikes. We're going to head to the Atlantic Ocean on the coast next and then take 10 weeks to cycle across to Black Sea in Romania. So that's been canned due to well, Europe.
Yeah, yeah,
We have no idea how Europe's going to, how it will recover.
yeah, yeah,
It's that unwritten. So what we'll do with Candid, it's just more postponed. We live in New Zealand, so we've got a couple of islands that we can still tiki tour around and explore. And I think that's the difference between having done what we've done and know how to adapt to the change or the transition versus someone who's just hit a roadblock.
yeah,
Excuse me, because they so yeah, we'll just our country echoes because the tourism's gone.
yeah, yeah.
And a heap of opportunity for us now to get on some tracks that might be booked out for blooming a couple of years.
Yes, of
So
course.
we'll just kept.
I didn't think of
Um,
that. I didn't think of that. Yeah, the waiting list for some things would just disappear. Yeah,
well, the other thing too is that our borders are closed.
yeah,
So if you're a resident or Kiwi, you can come back in, but you go into quarantine on behalf of the government for 2
yeah,
weeks because it's really about keeping the virus out now.
yeah.
And how will that pan out with regards to opening the borders up to international? It's again,
No, no.
it's
Yeah,
hey, let's worry about that in 3 months' time.
yeah,
Versus,
yeah.
I hate the fact that we keep talking about money and economy and how it's affecting. I love the fact that this has tilted the planet, and maybe we've it might bring people closer together as human beings. Maybe it won't.
I hope so. I mean,
We've got to work together.
yeah, it's, yeah. No, I mean
Definitely.
that's the purpose of the show to see if we can bring some people together and put a positive spin because there are so many things to look forward to that haven't gone away just because of what's happening. So, you know, that really sort of clarifies all the reasons that I said this show came together. You know, and the more people we can have sharing that they're working on new skills and new experiences and bringing that, that's the way we will come out the other side closer, better, and move forward. So I'm going to thank you for coming on the show, my friend. I'm going to challenge you to come back
All right.
come back and keep us posted, especially want to hear how that
Yep.
Prince qualification is going, how the celebrant mentorship's going, and if we can get little Claire coming on and telling us about the bookkeeping world and how she's leveling up, that'll be awesome
Yep.
too. So,
Right.
Gauze, okay, you have a good day. I'm going to bail out and get some sleep. Take care now.
Okay, Colin.
Bye.
All right.
Awesome. So that was Bren Ruru beaming in from my old stomping ground of Christchurch, New Zealand, telling us about lockdown there and what Brent's working on. Brent and I crossed paths in speaking environments. We were both members of National Speakers Association in New Zealand, and we were both members of an amazing Toastmasters club called Boaters. If you find yourself in Christchurch, if you ever been to a Toastmasters meeting, I challenge you or encourage you to get along to Boaters Toastmasters. It meets on a Friday. I haven't been there for a long while because New Zealand's not been at home for a number of years now. And but Boaters Toastmasters Club is an absolutely amazing Toastmasters club, and has continued to thrive through earthquakes and all sorts of challenges, relocations, and the club just kept going from strength to strength. And as far as I understand, it's still a really strong club. When I was an active member with Brent, I think we were over 40 members at some stages, and even that was like maybe a little too many because you can't rotate the speakers through quick and easy enough. So anyway, okay, so that's a nice positive note. And if you've never heard of Toastmasters, I suggest you Google Toastmasters and find a Toastmasters near you. Maybe you can't go along right now, but that is a place to level up. Work on your confidence, work on your presentation skills, work on your speaking skills. An awesome place to level up. So, okay, guys, I'm just gonna if there is anything that you want to know about me, head on over to parentingpassportsandprofits.com, and you can find out a bit more about me, Ellie, and the family. And remember, if you're new and you've hung in all this time, please remember to give us a like. Those make a world of difference, and subscribe to the channel. They also make a difference, and a little turn on the notification, and we'll see you next time. So we're coming at you from Central European time all the rest of this week, and I'll think about what time we go next week. So yeah, we'll see you same time tomorrow. Thanks for joining. Take care now. Bye bye.